Dartmouth, they've had a heck of a run the last 4 years. 4 years, probably more like, I don't know, I guess it's going back almost a decade. They really have been strong, kind of really have surpassed New Bedford High as the school that has the...
Got girls basketball state champs.
Yeah, they've had
2 trips, football, Super Bowl, soccer. They're good at a lot of things.
Yeah, they've definitely been making it happen.
Brian Rose.
Yes, and they have they've replaced their athletic director this year. Tom McDermott retired. So maybe we can hear a little bit about their new person, whose name is Jeff Caron. He is coming from Durfee, and Laurie is doing a feature story on him. So maybe you can let us know a little bit about Jeff Caron and his dreams.
I went to Dartmouth High School earlier today and met with Jeff. Really, really good guy. He's excited about the opportunity to come to Dartmouth.
And what's his background? He's coming here from Durfee.
He was at one point a superstar for the Durfee basketball team.
Yep.
Back in I guess it was the mid 90s. He graduated in 94. After he graduated, he went to UMass Amherst. And he actually walked on the team there.
Okay.
94, 95. He said he practiced for a month and it wasn't for him. So he ended up leaving there and going to Merrimack.
Okay.
And he was there for 4 years, scholarship. He's a guard. After he graduated from there, he ended up getting into some college coaching.
Mm-hmm.
He was an assistant at Rhode Island College, and I wanted to say Plymouth State is the other one.
Okay.
And then he left there, and he decided that he would rather do the high school coaching, just because with colleges, you're traveling more than you're actually, being a part of, the team with the team.
So he wanted to have a bit of a life.
Yes, okay. Yes. He said it was tough for his family. So he, I think he got to start in Taunton, went over to Dighton, and then finally he got his dream job at Durfee, his alma mater. He was the athletic director and the boys basketball coach for the last 3 years there.
So why, if that was his dream job, why has he decided to come? Did you discuss why he decided to come to Dartmouth?
Yes, that was a question I asked him, and he said that it was a very tough decision because he was leaving, Fall River. He's leaving his home. And the reason why is the financial situation in Fall River right now. He was afraid of his job.
Okay, yeah.
He
it's
thought
that bad. Dartmouth has been struggling too, but they're not going to cut major positions. I guess they've kind of gone through the worst of it and come out the other side. So
yeah, and I kind of a direct quote was he had to think about his family, his family at home, his team at home, more so than what team he's going to be having to root for now.
Yeah. And now, but he's not going to be. Steve Gaspar is coming back to coach basketball.
Yes. Yeah. When I talked to one of the school committee members, I think it's McDonald. He said that in the description for the job, it said that the athletic director could not be a head coach.
Okay, so there's no So he wouldn't be the heir apparent even to Gaspar.
Nope.
Okay, so he's not going to coach as long as he's athletic director.
That's a change, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is.
Well, that's news because Tom McDermott did coach.
He coached. He's going to continue to coach. Is he going to continue to coach a baseball team? Is that?
Yes, he is. Yeah. So I guess they want to go in a different kind of route and actually have the athletic director kind of be separate from the coaching ranks. I mean, they could still. He said the athletic director could still be an assistant coach or help out, but it's kind of one of those things that when you are a coach and you are an athletic director, that season that you're coaching, you have to focus so much on your sport that you kind of overlook the other sports.
Okay, no, that's interesting.
And Dartmouth's in a position where there's so many good programs there that they really can't afford to say, okay, well, you can be the basketball coach because all of our winter teams aren't really that good, and you can focus on that because they have such good teams each season that it definitely needs that. But it does seem interesting. I've got to think that maybe they're already thinking they've got the heir apparent behind Steve or some of these other coaches already in house.
I get. They have a good system of coaches, and I talked to Tom McDermott for a long time earlier this as he was getting ready to retire, and he said that they just have a lot of guys who they want to coach, and they know it's a school that's going to support good sports. So, I mean, guys will go there to be assistant coaches that probably have the resume to be head coaches elsewhere. So, it's pretty interesting. And, they're two big breakout stars of the last, this newest crop of kids. We have Jordan Todman, who's at UConn, And we got Arthur Lynch, who's his first season down in Georgia as a freshman. I've seen these guys. I know the knock on Lynch was always, and we should say that Arthur Lynch managed to be our second team tight end on the super team in his senior year, even though he's going to get a Division I scholarship to play for Georgia. But it's not all about how you project at the next level when you're looking at that. But apparently, Arthur Lynch, his big adjustment upon getting to Georgia is that everyone is making fun of his Boston accent, and he does have a pretty thick, and it's really not a Boston accent; it's a New Bedford accent. There's a difference, a slight difference. I got the quotes here. What they were saying. I'm looking through papers right now. This is what I do.
Shuffling. This is
I'm
preparation.
Shuffling papers.
Show prep is good.
Let's see. Lynch says, somehow they can't understand me. Me and some of the kids, we have trouble. We talk to each other and we'll be saying, what? They think I say a lot of words weird, so it's just different. I definitely won't be saying y'all. That's what he says.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, then they pick it up.
It sounds like he's actually going to fit in pretty well down there. There's another freshman tight end who I guess is really turning heads as a receiving threat, whereas Lynch is really considered a blocker. So there's some talk that they're both going to be, they're both going to get a significant amount of time because I guess their starter is going to miss games with a suspension. So he's going to have a chance to play. He's talking about, if he can't get in there and if he's not going to play every down, put me in there third and short. He's looking to make his name down there. Now Todman, on the other hand, is really in a great position. This is pretty exciting. He was one of the 45 running backs in the Division I that were put on what they call a watch list for the Doak Walker Award, which is for the best running back in the country. So that's pretty heady stuff for him. I don't know if he was I never saw him play in high school. I know everyone else probably did. Seems like he was a small guy, but.
And he never really had a starting opportunity down there yet either because Donald Brown was there.
Right.
So this is right out of the gates based on, what he could project to be.
He averaged, I looked at his numbers are real good. He averaged, in his limited time, he averaged about 6.5 yards a carry. His main competition, they've had an interesting arc here. I'm going to try to get the guy's name. I'm going to leaf through papers again. Okay, that sound you hear is papers. Andre Dixon was their starter before Donald Brown. So in 2007, it was Andre Dixon. And Donald Brown, who just went to the Colts as a first-round pick, was kind of the backup. Dixon gets a little bit injured and then gets picked up on a drunk driving charge, so he's out for the year. And that's how Brown gets the opportunity to step forth. And even Todman might not have played at all as a freshman because Dixon was out. Then that gave Todman a chance. And now Todman has a chance because he was impressive. He's got a chance to unseat Dixon, so it'll be pretty interesting to see. I think we're all rooting for Jordan Todman.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and when you saw the kind of career he had here, and what he meant to these teams here, you want to see him kind of get a chance to succeed at that next level. And it wasn't just football. He was a beloved kid at that school overall, and to have that Dartmouth family behind him, it's another example of where these kids are coming from down in this neck of the woods. A lot of times, the Boston newspapers and they don't really focus on a lot of the stories that come out of here. But these kids are coming from good backgrounds. We've had a few NFL players here the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's been an exciting run in Dartmouth.
So it's not a stretch to think that Todman's going to be the next one.
And that's an up-and-coming program also, especially in New England. They, in the Big East, they've not necessarily are rivaling BC, as, the D1 school of choice in New England, but they are right there. That football program under Randy Edsall's been very good.